Okay, we'll call the meeting to order and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, roll call, everybody but Lisa Potts. So far, is Lisa coming later, or do we know?
Yeah, I haven't heard that she's not. So.
Okay.
Parking was tricky.
Yes.
I used the
School
new lot.
buses in the way, huh?
I used the new lot.
Hey, all right.
Yeah, we go.
Well,
So
that's
far,
so
there.
good. My car's there, and we'll see if it's still there
well,
when I
it's
get
only
there.
permit parking through 5 o'clock.
Right.
Oh, that's something else. I didn't realize that they are.
All right, we'll move right into the agenda, the action items, the election of officers. It's always a little bit process awkward, but at this point, yeah, we have 4 officers. And we might as well just go in the order of your packet. Do we have any nominations for the office of president?
I nominate Steve Bliss.
Second.
Thank you. Do we have any other nominations? Anybody here to deal with this stuff?
Do you want out? Is that what you're saying?
I'll get out soon enough. All right, hearing no more nominations, all those for Steve Bliss as president, please say aye.
Aye.
And I'll abstain. Thank you very much. All right, nominations for vice president. I would like to nominate Carolyn Neto
Support.
for vice president. Any other nominations? Hearing none, let's put it to a vote. All those for Carolyn Neto as vice president, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Secretary. Any nominations for secretary? Anybody not want to do it again?
No, I'm fine. I'm not going to nominate myself.
I would like to nominate
Your turn, Carol.
Lisa Winter, secretary.
Any other nominations for secretary? All right, all those in favor of Lisa
Who
Winter?
seconded it?
I'll support.
But, okay.
Sorry. All those in favor for Lisa as secretary, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? And treasurer. I will recommend Ben Shear for office of treasurer for 1 more year.
Support.
Any other nominations? Okay, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we have our slate of officers. We shall move on to board committees. Does everybody have?
I did part one
Just
for
me.
everybody.
All right. What I'll do is just read each one and ask if anybody wants out, or if anybody has a burning desire to jump in. Please make me aware of that. So the first one, finance, facilities, and negotiations. That's one committee that handles a few different responsibilities. Currently, that's Kim Senkow, Steve Bliss, Ben Shear, and Lisa Potts as needed. Everybody in favor of that? Anybody want off? Anybody burning desire to be on? All right, do we have to vote these?
We can at the end if you so
Okay.
choose.
Maybe, yeah, just get the whole slate done and do it as one. That'll work.
We'll move on to academic affairs. That's the first Tuesday at 2:30 every month. And that is Lisa Potts, Carolyn Neto, Lisa Winter, and Mrs. B as needed. Any desire for changes there? Policy, the third Tuesday at 2:30 every month. Mrs. B, Carolyn Netto, Lisa Winter, with Ben Shear as needed. Any changes necessary or desired? Personnel meets the fourth Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning. That currently is Kim Senkow, Steve Bliss, Lisa Potts, with Carolyn Netto as needed. Any desired or necessary changes? Okay. City School is Kim Senkow, Mrs. B, Ben Shear, and Steve Bliss as needed. Any changes desired there? Okay, and then finally is the school improvement, and all members are invited to those meetings. Okay, not hearing any changes from last year, I would entertain a motion to approve the slate of board committee membership as I just presented.
I move to approve the committee membership as presented.
Okay, and a support from Lisa. All right. All those in favor, please say.
Sorry.
Yep. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay. We have our board committee assignments.
Lisa,
Hello, Lisa.
Lisa, you're president, vice president,
Yeah.
treasurer, and you're covering all committees.
Okay, great.
We're here to say no. So.
Right?
And wait till we get to the last one where you're also chief
A through Z.
administrator.
Yeah. Oh, goodness.
All right, so we are on item C, establishment of the 2025 calendar for the scheduled dates and times of meetings, and that was in your packet. We've reviewed that 2 or 3 times.
You'll note I added the first meeting in January to it, as we discussed last meeting as well.
Perfect.
If
Thank
you want to
you.
reference it, it's in your full board packet for the 6th
Sorry, I
meeting.
forgot to put it.
Okay, anybody find any other issues with regard to that? Hearing none, I'll take a motion to approve.
I'll move to approve the 2025-26 calendar as presented.
Support. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? Okay. D, the designation of person responsible for posting regular and special meeting notices for the Board of Education. I would nominate Christy Hall to be that said person.
Support.
We have a support. You still agree?
Yeah. My
Okay,
job.
good.
I don't
All
know
right.
why it's in here, but
All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And any opposed? Other than Christie. All right, designation of places for the posting of the calendar, individual meeting notices of regular and special meetings of the Board of Education. You can see the list in our packet. Those include the superintendent's office, middle school, high school office, the elementary school office, on our website, and on Walker Park sign when we come. Any changes, discussion? Otherwise, I'd take a motion.
I move to approve the designation for posting of the calendar and meeting notices as it has been this past year.
Any support?
Support.
Okay. All those in favor of those designation of places, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Say nay. Okay. Designation of depository or depositories for the Board of Education funds. In the past, we've used Huntington Bank, and that is the recommendation, and those funds are including the general fund, the debt retirement fund, our trust and agency fund, and our sinking bond fund.
I will move to support or move to designate Huntington Banks as our depository for the Board of Education funds.
Okay. And could I hear a support for that?
Support.
Okay, all those in favor of using Huntington Bank for those funds, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Okay, that carries. All right, the designation of board members and other personnel eligible to sign checks. In the past, we've done the secretary and treasurer, and it is recommended we continue with that policy again this year.
I move to approve the secretary and treasurer as the eligible board members to sign checks.
I will support that. Okay, all those in favor of secretary and treasurer to be able to sign checks, please say aye.
Aye.
And if anybody's opposed with nay, motion carries. Appointment of legal counsel. I think everybody is familiar enough that we actually have two firms that we use, primarily Truan Law Firm, and then we also use Smith Howey Rice and Rogie, a local firm, for additional needs that we might have. So, and those are the recommendations. We can take those together, can we not? Okay. So can I get a motion for legal counsel?
And I move to designate Truan Law Firm as our appointed legal counsel and Smith, Howley, Rice, and Rowe to be appointed as our local legal counsel for 2025 as presented.
Support from somebody?
Support.
All those in favor of what Ben just mentioned, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. And any opposed? That carries. Appointment of the recording secretary for the Board of Education. Christy Hall has done that in the past. Would anybody like to add to her plate of duties? Because I already added some.
I would love to move that we Christy Hall as our recording secretary.
I thought the secretary might want to.
I apologize, but I support.
Okay, so it's been motioned and seconded for Christy Hall. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. And anybody opposed? All right. Appointment of the superintendent as coordinator officer of the following, and before we go on, I think we have some new board members, so I'll have Kurt just give a rundown of all those duties, just for your familiarity. I think everything else has been kind of explained in the packet, but.
The best way to explain it is, thank God we have Neola policies, because every single one of these things are addressed in there, and it's just my role to, one, we have to have a person identified as a point person on each one of these, and my role really is either to oversee that we're following policy and or designate. You can see a couple of them even say that on there, but one of the ones I would reference is the Title IX. I've started discussions with Jen and Ashley. It's not best practice to have your superintendent as the point person for your Title IX investigations, and so we're going to be talking about a better process that we should get some people trained and switch that, but then that would just come back to the board, when we're ready for that. In the meantime, yeah, I jokingly call this my job security list, so.
Especially from Lisa or Kim, did you have any questions about any of those on there? Okay. And, I would love to entertain a motion, but, we don't have to read every one of them, you can
As
simply.
listed.
I move to approve, the superintendent as the coordinator / officer of jobs 1 through 14 as presented in our packet.
Support.
I got a 1 through 16 in my packet.
Oh,
Yeah.
what do we add? No. Okay,
Yeah.
great. I will amend that to jobs 1 through 16.
I'm sorry, yeah.
It's,
An old
It's
list
something we changed last year.
it's
An
correct on
old
this.
list must have gone up.
It's correct on our notes part, it's not on the agenda part. I will
Got
fix
it.
it for next year, sorry about that.
We just wanted to give Kurt a few more things.
Well, we used to have the 15 and 16 were other other alphabet line items, and we merged them under here last
Good.
year, and I forgot.
Okay,
List them
so we
on
have
here.
a motion to approve items 1 through 16 in the packet as presented.
Support.
And we have a second. So put that to vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
And any opposed? Okay,
Can I ask a question?
yep.
Under asbestos, did we take care of a lot of that this summer?
Asbestos was not a major issue. Wherever it needed to be abated, we did. But actually the contractors that do the testing and then take care of it, we're actually pretty pleased with how our building, how things were. We'll have more to do at the middle school, high school, and that's all handled by them and get us all clean before we rip everything up and then move on. So, yep, any that needed to be addressed was addressed.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. Hearing nothing more, I will adjourn this meeting unless somebody has anything else. Meeting adjourned. Order. We will not be doing the Pledge of Allegiance since we just did it in our last meeting, so just FYI. Roll call, let roll reflect. All board members are present. Next up on the agenda is the approval of the consent agenda, which is just minutes from the December 9 board meeting in your packet.
I move that we approve the consent agenda of this evening's meeting.
Support. All right, we got a motion and a second. Were there any questions, corrections? Hearing none, I'll bring it to a vote. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, that carries. Public comments. Quiet meeting today. All right, on to new business. I apologize, we're going to skip item 643. That should have been, I should have mentioned a change in the agenda. The 2025 meeting schedule has already been approved in our previous meeting. We decided we didn't need to, nor should we, duplicate approval. So item 644, ratification of the NMEA, North Muskegon Education Association contract. Everybody had that in their packets, or the notes, not the full
Yep.
contract, but the updates to the contract. Kurt, would you like to just give us any
Sure.
kind of
Sure, yeah,
summary?
but, like Steve said, those are the updates, those are any of the things that were impacted through negotiations. A lot of, as the board knows, many, language things were, like, items were put back into the negotiation process after, or the past, about 12 years, they were removed. And, so they were put back with the new legislation. We talked through a lot of those, or all of them, and came up with, I think, what are some very fair language. Doesn't really change the way we've done business, even though we didn't have to negotiate those items or all of those items in the past. We really took a stance that we're gonna do what's right anyways, whether we have to talk those through or not. And so really this negotiation was getting in, putting in print really what we've been doing. One tweak or change from that statement would be our evaluation process, teacher evaluation process. We're actually gonna have a group of teachers and administrators meet from now through the end of the year to come up with our process. None of us are that happy with the process currently, and whether that's the principals or the NMEA. So we're gonna work together to come up with a process that meets the state guidelines, but that we all feel makes more sense for us. Other than that, the formula for for salaries was in place. We talked about it a little bit. We re-upped that with some new updated information, not new, updated. And so, yeah, I'm very pleased. It was, like always, it's a long process only because there's so many different details, especially with language. But it went very, very smooth, and big kudos to Miss J and Lindsay BK, who were the two primary people that handled things on the teacher's end. And then thank you to Mark and Christy and Jess for giving me all the information that I needed when I asked for different reports and that kind of thing for costs. So very smooth process, and I think that they would agree.
Excellent, thank you for that update.
And they have approved, they've already ratified on their end, so.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Kurt or others? Okay. Be happy to entertain a motion to approve.
I move to approve the ratification of the NMEA for the North Muskegon Education Association contract for 25, 26, or 25.
Through, Kurt, this goes through 27, doesn't it? 27.
Yes, if there's law changes, we would have to open things up for language and that kind of thing, but this.
We're ratified through 27.
Yep, and then the reason that we are able to do that when we haven't, for board members that have been on, we haven't done ones this long for quite a bit, but because we have the formula in place for the salaries, it ties those things that we don't have control over and puts it into an equation and then spits out what they get. So there's really no reason to have to hash over those things every year anymore when we have that formula in place. Yes, through 27.
Through 27.
26, 27 school year.
Yes. Yeah.
Correct.
So June 30th.
Okay.
Support.
Okay, we have a amended motion and a support of that. Any further discussion or question? Okay, we'll bring it to a vote. All those in favor of the motion as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, motion carries. All right, item 645, the approval to relinquish Title III federal funds. Kurt,
Yeah,
you wanna give a little background and,
Yeah, board members that have been on, for the last few years know a little bit about this, but, good reminder, and then for our new ones, you will probably, this will be the only time as a board member you'll see the word relinquish and funds together on any of our board
we
meetings.
never give money.
Because of the equation that goes into the Title III funds, we're eligible for, and I was just sidebarring with Ashley, because Ashley helps a lot with this program, a little over $300, but yet we have to do, if we take that, we have to do all of the reporting and all of the state bureaucracy end of things to take that money as a district that might get $300,000. So it does not mean we don't provide the programs. We do, and we have to meet the law and offer all of that, which we do. But to take $300 from the state to then turn around and have the administrative and staff time just doesn't make any sense. So we do all of the programming. We just tell the state in this situation, thank you, but we're good with you keeping our $300 or $350 or something like that. I think it is. Yeah, you won't see those two words on agendas besides this one. So.
Okay. Any other questions? Be happy to entertain a motion.
Move to approve the relinquishing of Title III federal funds. As presented.
Support.
Okay, we have a motion and a support. All those in favor of relinquishing $300 whopping dollars? Please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? In item 646, the approval of Bethune FMLA time. I want to just give anybody want to give a brief little background?
I will. She's going to be a mommy.
Yep.
So she needs some time to be with a brand new baby, and you guys have all the details, and we wish her the best. It's going quite well so far from when I had a quick conversation with her the other day. But I think she's getting to the very excited and let's get this over with phase. So, but yeah, so that the details are there, but it's for maternity.
Yeah, I did have one question. Do we really need to approve because it's a legal requirement, isn't it?
Well, I don't think we actually have to, but we have in the past.
We'd like to.
And I think it provides assurance to staff that
Okay.
everything's
Fair enough.
all up and up. Everybody knows, transparent, and
Yep.
she's going to be back when she's ready.
Okay. All right. Could I get a motion to approve Brittany Bethune's FMLA leave?
I move that we approve Brittany Bethune's FMLA leave.
Support.
And we have a support. Okay. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Board comments. Let's start with Lisa Winter.
Why
We
did
have,
you-
we, I just had to
Change it
pick
up a little.
somebody,
All right.
not on the end.
So random. Happy New Year, everybody. I'm excited to see what 2025 holds for us. It's a great year to be Norseman.
And heading your way, Lisa.
Okay, Lisa's doing. Yes, Happy New Year, everyone. I just wanted to say congratulations to the staff and the students and the hard work that they've done in achieving great SAT scores. If anybody, hopefully everybody saw that the ranking, kind of achievements came out, and North Muskegon again ranked as the top rated in Muskegon County for SAT scores, and number 135 in the entire state. So I thought that was pretty awesome. So just great job to the staff, administration, and students. You're doing great work. I don't think anybody knows where we're going.
It's a surprise. It's like popcorn.
Yeah,
It's
we're
so
going
good.
all the way down and back to the end.
Happy New Year, everybody, and I'm excited for 2025.
I know I already put a little bit of a plug in, but I want to do it again for Miss J and Lindsay. It is a pretty big time commitment. We meet after school, and they provided very flexible schedules, and we know that they have lots of people coming to them with we want this, and they have to balance all of that out, and they do a great job. And it really was when the law changed and all of these items were back on the table. There were some very, very ugly negotiations around the state, and some are still continuing because they can't come up with agreements. We used to have this thing where you couldn't retro pay if you went past your previous contract. Well, that also went away. So now there's not necessarily this carrot, there's to get things done, and that's why there's still many districts that are dialoguing on this, and I use that word on purpose because I wouldn't want to have the dialogue that they're having, and we didn't. So thank you to our representatives. We handled things like we usually do. It was a good process. Thanks.
No, you're up.
You're up.
I'd like to say congratulations to all the work that both sides did to settle a contract. I've been in many places as in serving on the committee and being at the table. So it's always a good day when you can be a Norseman and the contract is settled.
Thanks, Mrs. B. Happy New Year, everyone, and yeah, I'm just excited. Seems like things are on the right foot, so let's keep them going. And yeah, I love to end the year with some positive academic news, and I think that the community has responded, at least my interactions with the community, very favorably. So that's always a positive.
Good. Happy New Year also to everybody. Couple things I just wanted to mention. Thank you to Kurt and Mark who really spearhead the negotiations from the administration side, and then certainly Ms. J and all the others from the teacher side, and for coming together on the contract. That's never a fun process. We love that we're doing multi-years now, so we don't have to have the very confrontational type meetings, and they aren't confrontational, but they're contentious, and it's nice that we don't have to do that every year, and I appreciate everybody's maturity in reaching agreement. Also, just as an FYI to the board, I did meet with Kurt today, kind of a mid-year status update and stuff, and I'll give more updates at another time, but we do have to update his contract, and so the next couple of committee meetings, Kurt and I decided he would bring everybody up to speed on some things he's been doing, kind of an update to other board members, and then also his contract, and that way our next meeting we can ratify his contract as well. Wasn't there one other item?
The evaluation, biannual
Yes,
evaluation.
and we need to kind of
Have a public vote. It just has to be in the minutes. That decision.
shore up our plan for superintendent evaluation going forward. We talked about it about 3-4 months ago, but we never solidified it, so we do need to do that as well, and that will be on the agenda. But we'll address in those committee meetings between now and the next. And I think that is it.
I just wanna wish everyone a happy new year.
Okay. Meeting adjourned.